Hey guys, Real 92.3 Big Boys Neighborhood, Natalia Perez here for the Twilight Zone Black Carpet premiere. We are so excited for this reboot show, and we got to talk to so many members of the cast, including Sanaa Lathan, DeWanda Wise, and Jordan Peele himself. Check it out. What conversation do you hope people have after watching these episodes? What type of conversations?
Well, every episode sort of requires a different conversation. That's what, Serling and his squad of writers were perfect at, was like addressing societal issues through these allegories, through these little parables. So, the joy of Twilight Zone is not just one thing that we're addressing, except, I will say that there is, beneath the horror and the scary stuff, there's an underlying message of acceptance and love and togetherness.
Look at you, we're all proud and everything.
Yeah, you proud of me?
So proud.
Thank you.
It's very rare to get material where you're like, yes, it hit all the marks. At the end of, it was a page turner. I was emotionally involved. From the edge of my seat, it gave me chills. It made me think. So immediately, as soon as I turned that last page, I called my agent. I was like, please sign me up.
I just thought, wow, of course Jordan Peele's involved with this. It was fantastic. It was well written. It was smart. And it was a hell of a lot of fun to do.
I was thinking about what differentiates it from like a Black Mirror, and it really is the emphasis on the human condition, you know what I mean? And what's miraculous and wonderful about it is it allows the viewer to put themselves in the position of the characters and say like, wow, what would I do?
A lot of people have been saying their episode's the best one, and oh no, you gotta watch my episode, is better than the other ones. Is there one of yours, of this series, that's your favorite?
See, that's tough. That's like choosing between my brothers. I think the final episode of the season has something a little bit different and cool going on that I can't tell you. But I'm going to say the final episode, but they're all really amazing and so different.
I couldn't talk any smack because I don't even know the premise of any of the other of the episodes, and I haven't seen it. I haven't seen mine, but it's me. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
My episode, I genuinely love the message behind it. Every good Twilight Zone, satirizes a prevalent issue in our society. I think mine really hits home, especially to millennials and women and people in my generation.
There's a lot to say about social media in our episode and the effects of that, the unintended effects of that. And it's also just about how much of yourself are you willing to give up in order to be successful, which I think is something that everybody thinks about. Everybody wants to be successful, but what's the cost?
The beauty about my episode is that it resonates so closely to today. It does deal with race. And, we've seen Get Out, and we've seen how brilliantly Jordan Peele does that.
Is there an old Twilight episode that has always stuck with you?
Yeah, I was a kind of a bookworm as a kid, and there was the one where this man who was like a real, like he was obsessed with his books and reading, and he just wanted everybody to go away, and he got his wish, and the end of the world happened, and he had all these books around him and eyeglasses, and he dropped his eyeglasses and they shattered, and so that he was like, his wish came true that he could be alone, but then he couldn't read his books.
The hitchhiker, when in the rearview mirror, the man at the end of the episode pops up and you see him there. So anytime I get in the car, anytime that's after sunset or before sunrise, I always check the back seat. It's just instinctual, it's habit.
Living doll that has the little, talking Tina. In fact, I got to tell you, you can ask Jordan about this. He's right over there. They put like a little piece of item of some prop from the original series on every episode. We had Talking Tina. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm like getting chills right now. That's really cool.
She's got chills.
To Serve Man, the cannibalism episode. Speaking of space,
yes.
I mean, I've always loved the space themed ones. And what's really interesting is like we kind of stopped the space program in the United States. Like after we landed on the moon, it was like we're like, okay, bye. No more money towards that thing. But there really is so much that's unknown about what it means to like travel to another world, if there are other life forms. So yeah, I've always really responded to those.
Eye of the Beholder, 100%. Yeah. Specifically, the way we, view our bodies and beauty today, I think that really resonates with everything that we always talk about. You know, me wanting to look beautiful right now. Yeah.
Robert Redford's episode.
Which one is this one? Please tell me.
He shows up as he's death. He shows up to this old woman's house and she won't let anybody in because she knows death is coming. And then this gorgeous hunk of a man shows up at her door and she's like, well, okay, you can come in. And she's so fearful of death and finds out that death is actually can be soft and can hold her and make her safe.
Jordan is one of my friends, and he's obviously one of the smartest, nicest, coolest guys. What I love about him handling this specifically is not just that he's that so smart and great at telling stories and a great writer and a great director, it's that he really understands this genre. He's a big fan of these types of stories, you know. He really has an encyclopedic knowledge of it, and honestly, very few people have that whole combination, you know. Until recently, we were in a time where people thought horror movies were not as good as other movies, and now Jordan comes along and everyone's like a fan of horror movies now, but Jordan's been a fan of horror movies his whole life, so he really understands the bones of this genre.